This here is the line that represents the top of the rail, and this is the bottom of the rail. We want to keep this section straight to transition into the straight rail as it goes up the stair. So I'm going to lay out a line on here with my batten, and I'll bring this around for you to see it a little bit better. And I'm going to lay this batten here on the bottom of the rail and make a nice smooth transition. This is by eye. I'm laying this out by eye. This is really no scientific method to this at this point. I just want to make this line look fair and transition from this angle to this angle as long as possible. So I'm going to draw this line here. And take a look at it. It's really important just to keep looking at things as you're doing this. You want to just make sure that's nice and fair and graceful. Transitions from this angle to horizontal really nicely and smoothly. And you want it to take as long as you can until you can get out here where it's level. It's actually going to level out here. Okay, again, I've clamped a batten in here, a nice bendable piece of rubber, polyurethane, and I'm just drawing a nice line, fair line in here. Okay, now I've put the volute and the wreath and a piece of straight rail on, and I put it on the plan, and now I'm checking to make sure that it comes all the way around and ends up in the right place. So I use this laser plumb bob and check my plan right in the center, and I want to make sure it lands in the center of the rail, and as you can see it does. So everything's working. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to define the bottom of the handrail right at the joint here with the straight rail so that it goes straight in the same line here. I'm going to define this part first, and then we'll flip it up and we'll carve the rest of it down. Okay, so now I have my straight stub is carved down almost to the level of the rail. I'm saving about 32nd of an inch that I can plane off later with my spoke shave and make it nice and smooth. But at least I know where I'm starting from here now. The next step is to take this plane down to this plane. And I'm going to do that right now. You can see my line on here. I'm going to follow this line. I'm going to follow the inside line and make a nice, fair transition. Always for your protection. Got this nice transition. It's fairly flat as I'm making my way down so that when I tip this over, it'll be level from underneath. I'm going to take my spoke shave and smooth this out a little bit more, and then I'll define the top. Get rid of all these grinder marks. Get closer to the right shape. I find it's really important to do a nice neat job on this bottom because I'm going to define everything from this bottom plane. Later on, when I carve the details in, I'm going to draw them from the bottom plane. So I'm going to make sure this is nice.